I've spent the past several years reporting on our national reality crisis. This is a tech writer for the New York Times. And I worry that unless the Biden administration treats conspiracy theories and disinformation as the urgent threats they are, our parallel universes will only drift further apart, and the potential for violent unrest and civic dysfunction will only grow. And like any real technology journalist working for the New York Times, he says, I called up experts and asked what Biden could do to help fix our truth-challenged info ecosystem, or at least prevent it from getting worse. Here's what they told me. Told me to tell you, maybe more like it, as he's admitting he is a stenographer for think tank psychopaths. Here's what they told me to say. Assess the damage and avoid the terrorist trap. Appoint a reality czar, to which he says, that sounds a little dystopian, I'll grant, but let's hear him out. Audit the algorithms, but don't audit the Federal Reserve. Enact a social stimulus and fix people's problems. This guy, James, this guy loves censorship. I'll include his stupid Wikipedia link where they talk about, he's been accused of advocating for censorship, which he agrees with. James?
You know, you are so right to point out, at the very least, we can be thankful that they're not even trying to hide it anymore. This is an op-ed piece that is somehow being disguised as some sort of journalism, I guess. Well, I talked to the think tanks because I was concerned about this, and they told me to tell you this. I mean, they don't even try to disguise this as real journalism anymore or center it around a story. But and also, yeah, they're not even hiding it, as you point out. Yeah, several experts I spoke with recommended that the Biden administration put together a cross-agency task force to tackle disinformation and domestic extremism, which would be led by something like a reality czar. And as you say, it sounds a little dystopian, I'll grant, but let's hear them out. And then, where does it end up going from there? Well, good news for all those people who have spent the last few years saying, yeah, get rid of Section 230, Section 230. I don't know what it is. I've never read it. I can't say what it actually does, but I've been told so often that it's the reason that I'm being censored from my Twitter account, which I must have, that therefore I'll be for its removal, and let's appoint some government body to regulate the internet. Well, don't worry. That's coming, guys, and it's coming under the Biden administration. So, for example, this goes on to say, this task force could also meet regularly with tech platforms and push for structural changes that could help those companies tackle their own extremism and misinformation problems. For example, it could formulate safe harbor exemptions that would allow platforms to share data about QAnon and other conspiracy theory communities with researchers and government agencies without running afoul of privacy laws. Oh yeah, they're going to rewrite the laws so that they can go in the back door and get all of your data because the government will be able... Don't worry, guys, the government will regulate big tech. That's the answer. We need more government. Repeal 230, yay! So we know where this is going, and it is going to that dystopian place that they are openly saying, yeah, I'll grant it sounds dystopian, but hear me out, guys. It'll be great. We can go in the back door and get the data from these guys. And of course it ends on a nice positive note. Well, instead of just focusing on, breaking up these tech monopolies and making sure the government dictates reality through their reality czar, we should also help these poor, unfortunate conspiracy theorists who see the world in a different way than I do by giving them access to mental health care and getting them involved in community programs and other such things. Oh yeah, they are out in the open saying this now. So I guess, again, we should be thankful for at least that much. Here's the difference between the New York Times, which publishes drivel like this, and outlets like ours, which is they are participating in the infantilization of society that's been going on for decades now and has been pointed out many, many times by people like yourself and myself and others. Idiocracy was a mundane documentary. They want you to be infants who cannot reason for yourself. You are children. You must be told what to think and how to think it, and you must be protected from the bad people who have different viewpoints. And you must be told in what way you can and cannot accept information. Whereas we try to treat the audience like adults. Here's information that's out there. You can go and take it on board or discard it. You can look at it, see if you can verify it for yourself. Use it in your own life the way that you see fit. Because you are responsible adults, and we will treat you like that. And that's exactly the vector that they're going to come and attack the alt media for. Hey, you guys, you're not telling people to believe these things in the right way and to all bow down and worship the same reality that the reality czar has given the imprimatur of government to. So yeah, this is absolute nightmare level dystopian sci-fi coming to fruition in front of our eyes, thanks to the good folks at the New York Times. Where else? I mean, where else would you expect this kind of garbage to be published?
So I guess they want reality. They're hungry for reality. So let's just have a couple more slices of delicious reality, James. Taking a break from spirit cooking, Joe Biden's buddy, who just coincidentally dressed like the Hunger Games child sacrifice movie thing at the inaugural Lady Gag. That's right. She has a new Oreo, James. And if the cookie doesn't make you sick, of course, the propaganda will. But again, these are the folks who are worried about your health. This is Lady Gag on record calling for experimental vaccines. GlobalCitizen.org is very happy about it. Yellow 5, blue 1, red 40, artificial flavors, and of course, natural flavors as well. These are the health folks. Again, they yell and scream about equality, but literally sell you poison with their stupid picture on it. Again, maybe people get what they deserve when they eat that crap. Another bite of reality. I do want to mention this is maybe the most ridiculous thing I talked about on my morning show if the Lady Gag cookies wasn't number one. It reminds me of Thanksgiving, James. If you recall several months when we talked about, oh, wow, apparently the Rona respects, important holidays and your governors relaxed the restrictions around holidays. Well, here we are again. New York City restaurants to reopen at 25% indoor capacity on Valentine's Day. It's, I'm sure, just a coincidence. Emmy Award-winning murderer, the Empire State's Governor Andrew Cuomo announced in a press conference on Friday, which is always a real popular day for news, the restaurants in New York City can reopen indoor dining at 25% on Valentine's Day. The quote, 25%'s better than zero, he said, spoken like a true government gangster. It's kind of funny, I think, with this whole first segment. It's like reality checks only come once every 4 to 8 years. It's like, a magical thing, I guess. One other slice of reality from reality land. I saw it trending. Alexandria Ocasio-Smollett is trending. She's essentially, I guess, the David Hogg of the Capitol insurrection. There I was, blocks away in a completely different complex. But our second segment here on New World next week, James, I mentioned at the top of the episode, neural. I've seen some folks say, because I talk so fast, that it sounds like